I'm your number one fan.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
My mom and dad are gonna be
I see dead people.
Hello.
Hi. Happy Tuesday.
Ish.
Yeah. Could be better.
Yeah. This is our first episode after the election last week. Vibes are low. Vibes are down.
We're fighting for
I
our
think-
lives.
Yeah. I think us, like many Americans right now, are having a really tough time. But we're here, we're mourning, and then we're fighting. And that's,
Mm-hmm.
that's the vibe. But we're here for a distraction. Sending good vibes to everybody out there who needs them.
Yep. That's all we can do.
Yep. Well, we can do more than good vibes, but
Well,
right now we're in the good vibes state.
yes.
We'll get to the state where I can, hop out of bed every morning.
More than that, yeah. Eat breakfast.
Yeah.
Shoot. Well, might as well hop into it. We're going to talk about triangle.
We are.
But first, news. Horror news.
Horror news. I'll go first. Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's like an 80s slasher Christmas movie. It's getting a remake.
Cute.
And it's coming from Cineverse, which is the same company behind the Terrifier series. So if you're a fan of the fan of the Terrifier movies, which someone here is not, two people might not be, but that's okay. Then you might be excited about it. I do feel like my memory of that movie, it would fit well with that type of vibe. But anyways, it's expected to start filming soon with Mike P. Nelson as the writer and director. He did not do Terrifier, but he did do a segment of VHS 85, which I actually really liked, so I'm kind of excited, maybe I didn't mind that. But he also did the recent reboot of Wrong Turn, which I did not see, but I didn't hear great things about, so who's to say? Who's to say? Not me. Mike, I wish you all the best. It's aiming for a late 2025 theatrical release, so we might have it in time for next holiday season.
Holiday movies are tricky in that regard because if you miss it, you gotta wait a whole year.
Yeah, you can't release like a Christmas themed movie after Christmas.
No way.
People are done. They're getting ready for New Year's. Like, it's over. You missed it.
Yeah. I complained about this for Halloween too. There were Halloween movies releasing like on Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta give me time to like buffer, like you gotta give
to
me...
watch it before.
Yeah, I want to watch. Yeah.
Me, I don't care because I'll watch a horror movie or a Halloween themed movie any time of year.
Yeah, but it's like, to see it in a theater,
Yeah.
It's more fun.
It definitely adds to it when it's that vibe and everybody is in the same vibe as you.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Terrifier, in a group chat, my boss to me said that she would be watching unprompted all of the Terrifier movies for Halloween. And every single person in the group chat responded, "Why?" And that just was so validating.
Yeah. Did she enjoy them?
She's seen them.
Oh, she's already seen them. It's a rewatch.
She chose to watch them again.
Okay, great.
It's a choice.
Yeah. You know what? Some people really love those movies. They're not for me.
No.
But you know what? I think some people watch the Saw movies and think, who the fuck would like those?
Yeah.
And I do. So
yeah, that's fair.
I can't judge too hard.
I can. I'm joking. Okay, first news from me. I'm really excited about both of my newses.
Oh, okay.
They're both very on brand for me. We're getting a new Godzilla movie.
Nice.
Yes, Godzilla -1 is the most recent installment. And if you don't know, it fucking slapped. I've seen it like 7 times in theaters. It had the third highest box office of any foreign movie ever in the United States. That one was directed by Takashi Yamazaki. Well, production has been greenlit for Yamazaki to head up another installment. It's unclear if it's a sequel to -1, but tiny spoiler, the way that -1 ended left us very much open for a direct sequel, like within hours, even.
I still have yet to see that.
Oh, you got to. It's so good.
I think is it still in theaters? It was just
came
re-released
back.
back into theaters.
Yeah,
so
they
I
keep
might
bringing it
just go see it in theaters because that seems like the vibe.
Yeah. Don't see it in black and white first. See it in color first.
I wasn't gonna.
Yeah, I didn't figure you would.
Yeah.
Also, just another side note. I'm just gonna derail us a little bit more.
Yeah, why not?
Sorry, I sound like I've smoked a couple packs of cigarettes a day for the last couple weeks. It's because I have. Just kidding. I have a cough. I have a little cough. I am hearing myself not sounding like myself, and it's really bothering me. So I had to address it.
We've gone so far off the rails since the election. Katie is now smoking 9 packs a day.
Yeah, at least.
No, just kidding. Do not smoke. It's bad for you.
No,
Don't
yeah,
vape
no.
either. That shit's gross.
Zin. Just kidding.
No,
Don't do that.
Don't stop.
We've really been thinking about it.
Don't put tobacco in your mouth. Stop.
That's not tobacco. That's nicotine.
Don't do that either.
Mm,
Stop. We're not promote. Well, we got to go back to the 90s. We almost beat nicotine.
We did?
And then, yeah, it was going so far down, and then vaping started. And Gen Z was like, hell yeah, give me that bubblegum flavor.
You know what's better than cigarettes? Electric cigarettes. Cigarettes I have to plug in.
Cotton candy fucking cigarettes. Let's go. Anyways.
Don't do that. Yeah, don't. We don't.
This is our anti-vaping messaging.
You can just smoke some weed.
Yeah, that's better, honestly. If you have to rely on a substance.
It's not the worst one.
It's not the worst one. Okay.
Okay, more news. Horror news. Horror news.
Katie was sick. That's the whole point of that.
Yeah, I have a cough.
Yeah. Last news for me is just, it's kind of a downer. Tony Todd passed away. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to say rest in peace to him. He's a horror icon. He's known for playing Candyman and William Bloodworth in the Final Destination franchise. And that doesn't even scratch the surface. Like, he's been in so many movies, horror and not, and just a fantastic actor. And very sad to see him pass away.
Yeah, he wasn't that old either. He was like 78.
I thought he was younger than that. Am I crazy? Yeah, he was 69.
Oh God.
I know. Yeah, he was still pretty young.
I don't know where I got 78 from.
I don't either. You kind of
that
pulled that out. Yeah. I was like, I don't think so. But yeah, rest in peace, Tony Todd.
Yeah, rest in peace. Okay, another fun one. Up the vibe a little bit more.
Yeah. We can't end on a sad vibe.
Yeah. On brand for me again. The Fly remake has begun development.
Okay.
Nikyatu Jusu is remaking David Cronenberg's masterpiece from the 80s. We talked about it a few episodes ago. Go listen to that if you haven't already. The plot for the new adaptation is still under wraps, but it sounds like it's going to be it's not going to be a direct remake. It's more like Fly universe adaptation. No release date or year even. But something to look forward to.
Remember when we did that episode and you were like convinced that it was getting a remake and it hadn't? At that point, it was not announced. Because you were thinking of the Ant movie, Them or whatever.
Yeah.
They, and you were like, yeah, Zendaya's going to be in the remake. And I was so on board. I was like, yes, I heard that too. We didn't, but now we did.
Now it's true.
It's true.
It's really
Maybe
happening.
Not starring Zendaya, but it's happening.
I don't even think we have a cast.
Probably not. If it just got announced that it's in the works.
Yeah. Exciting though. They haven't fucked up one of those movies yet.
Well, you didn't watch all of the sequels.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I didn't watch the sequels. I only watched the first one.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to talk about Triangle?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. it's been a while since you've seen it, or you don't care to see it, here's what it's about. So 5 friends set sail, and their yacht is overturned by a strange and sudden storm. A mysterious ship arrives to rescue them, and what happens next cannot be explained, although it can. And we're going to do that now. Anyways, that's from IMDb. It was written and directed by Christopher Smith. It stars Melissa George and Michael Dorman. It has a 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb, a 78% critic score, and a 66% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. It had a budget. Nope. It had a budget of $12 million, but it only made $1.3 to $1.6 million at the box office. However, I believe it only received theatrical releases in the UK, Belgium, and the Netherlands from what I could find. So not really a wide release. And audiences and critics liked it. It just didn't do well. So
Yeah.
maybe they didn't like it. Maybe they hated it.
The people who reviewed it liked it.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out if we liked it. That's what matters.
Yeah.
We don't care about other people's opinions. We're here to strictly talk about our own opinions.
Yeah. Who cares about all those other guys?
Yeah. Fuck them.
Yeah. $12 million budget. And a good chunk of that was sponsored by the United Kingdom National Lottery Fund.
Yeah.
Very strange. I didn't know lottery funds could be allocated to movie development, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the lottery fund in the UK is really, so I don't know if that's like what I as an American think of as the lottery fund. I don't know. And I didn't research it because I'm not a professional. So I don't know. I don't know if it's like a film lottery that like you can I don't know.
Yeah, good
Someone
point.
tell us because I'm not going to Google it.
I just assumed it was like the lottery like us.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought too, but then I was like, well, maybe not. And that's how we ended up here.
Yeah, well, somebody tell us because we don't know. Anyway. Did you watch the documentary I sent you?
I did. I watched it on like 2x speed though because I
too.
was running out of time.
Yeah, me too.
Let's go.
I wasn't even running out of time. I just didn't want to watch it at regular speed.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to link it in the description, but it's like a 40-minute behind the scenes of them making Triangle, and it was pretty cool. It was like the yacht scenes were all filmed in a soundstage that they filled with water, and we're just throwing buckets of water and blowing wind on them, and it looked awful, but maybe fun. They said the water was warm, so
32 degrees.
I was assuming that was Celsius. Yeah, because they're all like Australian and English, even though the movie's set in Miami.
But no, to your point, they built an entire ocean liner. Not an entire one, like the front half.
The side, yeah.
And the side of the ocean liner. If you use Google Earth history, you can see it.
Did you do it?
No, did you?
Oh, no.
I didn't
have time.
It's actually really cool. They built it on a jetty that was just very much wide enough for an ocean liner to sit on. It was very cool. So that way it always looked like it, no matter where you were filming from, it always looked like it was just in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, you can see it on Google Earth history. Maybe I'll put the coordinates and the dates in the description.
Do it.
I will.
Yeah.
That was all the outside of the boat. The inside of the boat, I'll talk about this forever. The inside of the boat, like the bowels and the engine room and stuff, was filmed on a naval frigate boat from World War II. One of the last, I think maybe the last river class frigate ship, which is like an anti-submarine escort, called the Diamantina.
Diamantina.
Yeah, and you can tour the Diamantina now in Queensland.
How fun!
But because it's like history, it's history. This might be too much. I have this whole set of like Pearl Harbor history books. One of my favorite gifts I've ever been given. And they talk about the river class frigates. They're very important. I looked it up.
Is that because you were actually interested in the history, or because you just really liked the movie?
No, I didn't like the movie until I liked the history first, and then I watched the
Okay, and then you
movie,
watched the movie.
and then I was really hooked.
That really pushed it over the edge, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I saw Josh Hartnett in it. Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, more about set, I guess. They were gonna build like the bridge, which the whole time the characters are trying to find the bridge so that they can talk to the crew.
Mm-hmm.
But due to delays in funding, they weren't able to build it in time. So it kind of came around, and this is in the behind the scenes that you sent me as well. The girl was talking about how she's like, I'm just not going to tell him until it's time because he's going to be very upset about the director because this whole thing has been leading up to this moment, and that's where Sally was supposed to die, was the bridge, and they had to redo that and have her just die on an outer section of the boat instead.
Yeah, that whole the way she said that,
Mm-hmm.
the way she was like, he's gonna lose his shit, and he lost his shit, gave me kind of. I was just a little like,
Gave you the
"Ugh."
ick. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was like gross. Ew.
yeah.
The fact that she was so scared to tell him that, and she was right to be
And
scared.
she was
Like,
right.
calm down. It's a fucking movie.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, I
mean,
do get like there's very high stakes in the movie industry
yeah,
because it's a lot of money that goes into it. But at the end of the day, like, it's not that serious.
yeah. It's still a job, and you have to maintain a certain aspect of decorum
And
when it's
professionalism.
yeah, it's especially when you're the boss.
Yeah.
You can just go around yelling at people, and like just like through the whole
Mhm.
documentary, people kind of like skirted around how they felt about Chris Smith. I don't know. It just gave me the ick. Sorry,
Yeah.
Chris, if you're a perfectly normal guy, but the odds of that are very low. So, um, I don't feel too bad.
I thought it was fun because it was. I don't know if it was like a fun fact or something that I was reading. Maybe it was on Reddit. But someone was like, "Yeah, I was really excited about this movie because I love his other films, or I love his other work, like Creep and Severance." And I was like, "What? Not the Creep and Severance that you're thinking of right now."
Oh,
It's a movie, Severance, not the TV show, and then a different Creep than the one that we've mentioned a couple times from Mark Duplass. So
yeah.
yeah, just two different things. And I was like, he worked on those things, and then he didn't. Well, he
Okay.
did, but not the ones I was thinking of, I guess. So that was just
I
funny to
thought
me.
I've never seen Severance or Creep, and I thought of the ones that you're not talking about.
Yeah. You never watched Severance?
I think I watched the first episode in Mexico. I was really drunk.
Oh yeah, when they were literally force feeding it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for what? Us to never think about it ever again.
I did end up finishing it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh. Did you
It
like
was
it?
fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was good. It felt like one of those things where you're watching it and I got nervous because I was like, this is really good, but it feels like they're adding things in just to because it's weird to see that.
Mm.
And I was like, I worry that they don't have a plan for it and that they're just throwing stuff in to be weird and be like, whoa, what does that have to do with anything? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked it up and the director said, yeah, we were just throwing in stuff to be weird. But now we have a plan for it. And I was like, so that's what I was worried about though. Because if you don't have a plan for it beforehand and you're just making a plan to fit what you've already done, it never turns out as good as if you have a plan
Yeah.
beforehand. So I'm very apprehensive about the next season that's coming out, but who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe I'll be wrong.
Maybe it'll be good. Do you think Heather survived?
I don't think the odds are in her favor.
Oh.
Just stranded out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, a lot of people thought of it as like the
She's
six
saved from the
people
loop.
the six people died and they're in purgatory now. And Heather lived. We know this because she didn't make it to purgatory.
Yeah. So I guess when I think of it, I think of it more being that Jess died in the car accident.
Yeah.
And this is her punishment. So I don't really think of the other people as like active players.
Mm-hmm.
That's my interpretation, is that she died in the car accident and then now this is her punishment for being an abusive parent, is that she has
Yeah.
to relive this day over and over and over again. And I think even at the end, like, it kind of makes it clear that she can leave. Like, when the taxi driver or the ferryman or whatever
Mhm.
is like, I'll leave the meter running, you're coming back, right? And she says, yeah, I'll be right back. But she's not. She's getting back on the boat. I think that
Mhm.
kind of implied that she does have this option to end it if she would like to and pass on, but she's choosing not to because she thinks she can fix it and she can't.
Yeah.
So I guess that was my interpretation.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, I think that is the correct interpretation.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of Greek mythology parallels, and Chris
Mhm.
Smith has even said, like,
Yeah.
it's very much that, like, you did something wrong, you are now doomed to push the rock uphill for the rest of your life.
Right. I mean, they
Yeah.
say it in the movie. They make
Yeah.
references to Sisyphus, and the ship
Mhm.
Aeolus has, like, I think 3 different meanings in mythology, which adds to the triangle thing. So that's a whole thing. But one of them is that he was the father of Sisyphus.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I think, I don't know. Maybe they are, and they're in their own version of hell where they just have to get murdered every day
Yeah.
multiple times. In that case, maybe, yeah, maybe Heather did survive because she's not in the purgatory, but I think she still kind of is because she's there at the beginning, She's still in that loop.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. She just is the first to die in the loop. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so many people think that she lived. Like,
Yeah. Which I get. Like, I get that interpretation.
it's wrong.
It's not my interpretation.
um yeah, but one more thing on, like, the Greek mythology, the
Hmm.
marching band, the, like, symbol on the marching band that interlocked A and O, and I think it's also on the kit in the yeah, it's
Yep.
on the drum kit in the cruise ship.
Yeah.
um
In the, like, dining hall.
yeah, yeah, it's the anglicized version of Alpha and Omega, which obviously in Greek is the beginning and the end.
Hmm. Yeah. It definitely dives into that a bit. And I think them being the same also kind of flows into that theory of this is her purgatory. She's reliving it. It's all the same
Yeah.
world, right? Um, yeah.
The idea, which is, it's funny that the idea didn't come from the Greek mythology. The Greek mythology was kind of added as an afterthought.
Yeah.
Um, but Chris Smith said that the idea came from the concept of, like, what if you're about to get on an abandoned ship and you see someone on the ship looking down at you, and you find out later that that person looking down at you was you. That was obviously exactly what happened in the film. But he had
Mhm.
to kind of build around that concept. And then producer Jason Newmark also said they thought about, like, what makes the victim become the villain, and, like, what steps would they need to take in order to become the killer, essentially. So that was kind of how they developed all the plot points, and, like, what would need to
Yeah.
happen to her in order for her to become the bad guy ultimately.
Hmm. Yeah, I think when he, like, initially pitched that idea too of you realize that the person you saw was yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think the people he like pitched it to were like, "Oh yeah, that's a great twist for the end," and he was like, "No, no, that happens right away.
Yeah.
That's not where we're going here."
Some other producer said, like, the first 15 minutes of the movie, you know exactly what's happening. And then you're like, what the fuck is happening for the rest of the movie?
Yeah. When did you kind of figure it out? I haven't seen this movie in a long time, so I'm I'm curious from the perspective of someone who just saw it for the first time.
I mean, honestly, I didn't, like, know until the mirror scene when she walks out and
Mm,
she sees the boat. And I was like, oh, fuck. She's stuck in a loop. Which, that scene was very cool how they filmed that. As you see, you
yeah.
watch the thing. They have, just for the
Hmm.
people who haven't seen it, they built this, like, cabinet with the mirror or whatever, and the cabinet part's on wheels, so they just kind of, like, wheeled it out, and she was able to, like, walk right through it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Very cool.
But anyway, that's the first time. That's pretty early in the movie.
Yeah.
20 minutes, 25 minutes. She walks out and sees the boat. That's when I figured it out.
Yeah.
What about you?
Now I'm like, I'm trying to remember because I know I watched this when I was on like a time loop kick. So I can't remember if I watched this knowing that that's what it was or not.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember being like, oh my God, that's what's happening. So I'm assuming it was one of the movies I watched because I was specifically looking for
Mm-hmm.
time loop horror movies.
Yeah. You know what else gave it away? I don't remember if this is before or after that. It must have been before. When Sally,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is that her name? Sally?
Sally, yeah. She's the one that's married to Downey.
Yeah, I watched this movie like 4 days ago, so it's like um when she said you shot him,
Yeah.
I was like, oh God,
Oh, yeah.
what if there's another one of her?
Mm-hmm.
And so that might have actually been what gave it away.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about the mirror scene as well.
No, I like it.
That's what actually gave it away.
I think now, too, I've watched enough time loop movies where I do kind of start suspecting it if there's a movie where things are happening at the beginning that can't really, like, that aren't explained at all. Like the knock on the door and she goes out and there's someone there and that kind of stuff where it's like, okay, wait, but who knocked on her door? Like, we
Yeah.
can't just ignore that. So now sometimes that happens in a movie and my mind is like, time loop, it was her.
Yeah.
But at the time I watched it, I don't think that was in my mind. But it's hard to remember. It was a long time ago when I first saw it.
When did this come out? 2006? 2008?
Mm-hmm. 2009. I
9.
think in the US. I put this one, this wasn't originally on our schedule. I put it on there just for you.
Oh.
Because you
Why?
wanted time themed horror.
Oh, cool.
This was the first one that popped into my head. So
I forgot I said that.
it's not really, yeah, you asked for time travel, and I guess it's not really that. But
Oh. Yeah, time loop and time travel are different.
yeah, they are. They are.
No.
I'll have to put a real time travel one on there for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining though. I mean, this was fun.
Yeah, I think it's a fun film.
Mm-hmm.
Makes a lot of references to The Shining. And even
like
in
The
the
Shining.
behind the scenes you sent me, they talked about that. So
Yeah.
it's clear that that was an influence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the number of the room that she kills Downey in, and there's messaging in the walls and stuff. The room's referenced a few times, but it's room 237, which is
Mm-hmm.
the room in The Shining. The room in The Shining.
Yep.
Blood on the mirror image, a ballroom, an axe, stacks of papers with the same sentence written on them, all shown throughout this movie that are famously in The Shining.
Yeah. Even, I don't know if you noticed, even the wallpaper in the staterooms was very much like the carpet.
Yeah, the flooring.
I don't like that word. I don't like saying that word. Sorry.
What word?
Carpet.
Oh,
Because it moves through your mouth funny. It just like it goes it goes from the back of your throat all the way to the front of your mouth. I don't like that.
Carpet.
See?
Yeah, I kind of like that.
No.
It feels like it's coming out.
I don't like that.
Like 3D.
No. It's not for me.
Yeah. It's just the way that it comes out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Like if I say it, does it bother you?
A little bit.
Okay.
We don't have to
Alright,
talk about
then.
it anymore.
Yeah, no, we can move on. I would
Yeah,
hate
okay.
to
Thanks.
cause you distress.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny that in the little behind the scenes you sent me, I can't remember her name. There was a woman in it, and she was talking about how, oh, Liam Hemsworth, he's so great, and he's going to be the next big thing. And this is one of the first movies he ever did right before Hunger Games. So she wasn't wrong, but also he kind of fell off after that. So he
Well,
was really big, and now nobody thinks about him anymore.
yeah.
Unless they hear Flowers on the radio.
Exactly. I was going to say, I think about him all the time. But yeah, this and Knowing were released the same year. Those were his first feature films. Other than that, he was just on TV. And they cast him the day before filming started.
Yeah.
The producers talked about that in the documentary a lot, that they screen tested an enormous number of people They said of all races and creeds, and landed on the most white,
Generic
looking guy,
motherfucker.
Liam.
Yeah.
Liam?
Liam.
Liam.
Liam
One of the two of us
Hemsworth.
might have said Chris.
I don't even think we said his name.
Oh, well,
Oh, maybe I did when I said they were talking about him. I
Yeah.
think I said Liam.
you probably said Liam.
Who's to say? If you're listening now, comment below what I said. I like Melissa George, though. She was a good casting choice.
What else is
She
she in
plays
that we've
Jess.
seen?
Amityville Horror, the remake.
That's right. Is that the only
Mhm.
thing?
I think that's the only thing of hers that we've watched.
Okay.
She's been in other things, though.
She's a little scream queen.
Yeah. She was in Turistas, which is a horror movie. She's in 30 Days of Night, which is a horror movie. But yeah, she's also been on like Grey's Anatomy, Lie to Me. She's been on shows too that you might
Grey's
thinking
Anatomy. Like one time, one day, a patient?
8 episodes. Dr. Sadie Harris.
Oh my god, you're so right. Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, I knew that off the top of my head. I definitely don't have her IMDb open right now.
That's funny. I knew her from somewhere other than Amityville.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay Lohan was rumored to have been considered for that role.
Yeah.
But I guess Christopher Smith had seen Melissa George in the movie or in the show In Treatment, which I'd never heard of, but she falls in love with her psychotherapist. So
and that
did it for him, I guess.
Related to this movie now.
I couldn't tell you.
All right. He saw that and was like, yeah. You could play a child abuser.
Yeah, right? A child abuser doomed to kill her friends.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh when I say that. It's not funny. It's
terrible.
Very much like the worst part of this movie is like watching that happen. It's very
shocking.
Sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not uncomfortable for sure.
Mm-hmm. What other fun facts do you have?
I mean, there's lots of little Easter eggs throughout this, I guess. Yeah, when she crashes her car, you can see like the 8 on the license plate, but that's the only number that it shows, and it looks like an infinity symbol. When she's driving on the road, there's a sign that says return back, which is kind of a hint of her repeating the cycle. There's lots of things like that throughout the movie. Mm-hmm. She's shown waking up 3 times, also kind of a hint at the triangle. There's a lot of triangle motifs in this.
Mm-hmm. There's 3 versions of Jess on the ship at any given time.
True, yes. Mm-hmm. There's 3 of her in the mirror that's shown in the room, which also kind of hints at the 3 of her on the ship.
Yep. Yeah.
At the beginning of the film, she passes a sign that says, "Goodbye, please return." You know, again, kind of that motif. She's always going back. It's a loop.
The ferryman's right there. He's like, you're going to come back.
He's like, "Hey, meter's running." She's like, "I got to save my kid." And then she doesn't.
He says nothing's going to bring him back.
He says it to her, yeah.
He says that to her.
Yeah.
She doesn't believe him.
She doesn't believe him.
I get it, though. Your kid's dead and you feel guilty about it.
Yeah. Also, there's like the theory that when she falls asleep on the boat, her memory resets, and that's why she's confused. Because the movie is set not in the first loop.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, this has happened many times before that. We are not seeing her first time in the loop at all, even though you're kind of led to believe that at first.
Mm-hmm.
You realize quickly that this has happened a lot. And she's very confused when it all first starts, which kind of leads to the theory that when she falls asleep on the boat, that is when her memory kind of resets and she wakes up not really remembering what happened. So,
yeah.
Yes, maybe she is able to stop the loop, but I think when she still thinks she can fix it knowing what she knows and not realizing that it's going to reset when she falls asleep.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, you see all the necklaces that she gets her necklace caught. You see all those and all the bodies.
The Sallies.
Yeah, all the Sallies, all the birds. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not her first rodeo.
Yeah. it bothered me at first that like, okay, why are there, like why are there so many bodies and like why aren't they in the exact same place? And it just, if I don't, you just got to not think about it so much. She's in her own little world. None of these people are real. It's like her own little like purgatory. It's not real.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you watch this with the mindset that it's just a time loop, there's a lot of holes in it.
Yeah.
If you watch it with the mindset that it's a purgatory and this is a punishment, then it's kind of like, okay, now it makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, the concept, the original concept is not that, I mean, it's original, but it's not that like big brain, it's not, it's just, what would make you be the villain if you, yeah, anyway. Realizing
why she deserves the punishment is kind of more of the interesting factor of it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the other thing is like, does she know how much of her memory is erased when she falls asleep? Does she know that she is a child abuser, or does she just genuinely miss her son?
I think she knows. Because I think I think she just wakes up without memory that like her and her son died, right?
Yeah.
And that she's in a loop. But I think that, because I don't think that this is something that happened that morning and that's it. I think that this is probably a repeated behavior of her not being emotionally, mentally, financially equipped to handle a child with special needs.
Yeah.
And that's not an excuse to be abusive. I'm just saying I think that is what's the underlying cause here, is that she was not prepared for this at all. And she's taking those frustrations out on her child. Yeah. So I think that all probably was a theme throughout her life, much farther back than the morning of the accident.
Yeah. And it sucks because the first half of the movie, you want to like her.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize, like, bitch, you did this to yourself. They didn't even have to make her the villain. She was the villain.
Right. But I think they almost do a good job of, like, pulling you into that, because you almost want to believe, no, she's not that person that she was. And she even says it, that's not me. That woman who did that to you is not me. She says that to her kid. And it is her. But they do such a good job of, like, not showing you those parts of her until the end.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're like, wait, no, but, like, the girl I've been following wouldn't do that, right? Like,
yeah.
And I think that was very smart of them to do, because I think that that's how people feel about a lot of people like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is, well, there's no way that this person could do that. And they could.
Yep.
They could.
Well, I think I personally think that this movie justifies a remake.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the concept's wicked. I love the concept. I'm just imagining this as like a Christopher Nolan or a Denny V, like huge budget, new age of actors. I just don't think it got the story, the concept, or like got what it deserved, like the justice it deserved, or like the budget and the time and cast it deserved necessarily.
I don't think Christopher Nolan, who is notorious for never writing like an interesting, strong female character, should be in charge of a remake of this, where like she is a very interesting, in-depth, complex female character, and he's not known for doing that.
Yeah.
In any capacity.
I'm just like production value. I mean, I don't mean that he should be the one to have it, but like production value. Give it to Denny V then. We like him. I like him.
All right.
And he works with Hans Zimmer, so we'd get a slapping score.
There you go.
Yeah. But anyway, and it's no shade or anything to the film. I thought it was good. It's just, it's just a product of its time. And I think in 5 to 10 years, using the technology we have and this kind of new wave of really great actors and actresses, it would be good. Not what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Sucked. Boo,
like
these guys.
like the Euphoria cast. You know what I mean? Like there's just like a
what?
Zendaya.
Yeah, she's great. You want to watch the
Sydney Sweeney.
Euphoria cast in this?
No, I'm just saying, like, that's the caliber
Wow.
of talent we have now. I'm not saying they need to be the ones that need to be in it.
Got it.
5-10 years from now, it'll probably be some nobody, and I hope it is some nobody.
No, it'll
Give
be
them a
some-
chance.
It'll be some actor's kid. It's always an actor's kid.
Yeah, or a producer or somebody.
Yeah. Someone's kid is gonna be in it.
Oh, I found a new
Nepo baby?
Nepo baby. Yeah, the lead
Right?
singer of Toto, John Williams' son. Who knew?
Not me. You'd
But-
think that they'd have more than one hit.
Well, to be fair, he wasn't even part of the band when they made that hit. There's been like 4 different lead singers of Toto. He's the most recent.
Okay. Got it.
But he
Cool.
wasn't, yeah, you would,
So he didn't even do the song. He
No.
didn't even do Africa, huh?
no. Which, when I first found out, I told everybody I fucking know. You know, this guy singing is John Williams' son, until I actually did the research. And it's
you
not.
were, yeah. I love that. I love lying for fun.
Well, I wasn't lying. I was just dumb.
Spreading misinformation.
I was spreading misinformation. is what
Come
I
on,
was doing.
Katie.
But still, like, the lead singer of Toto, come on. Everybody knows Toto
Yeah, that's fair.
for the one song he didn't write.
For the one song he was not involved in at all.
Anyway, little tangent. Any more fun
Yeah.
facts?
Oh, I thought it was just kind of cute that it's set in Miami, Florida, but it was filmed in Queensland. But both Florida and Queensland are known as the Sunshine State. So that nickname is seen on a road sign in the movie. And they could do it because Queensland is also the Sunshine State.
Which is dumb because it's not a state. Is it?
Well, it's I don't know what they're called in Australia. Australian states.
Just look up Queensland.
States and territories. I think it is.
Oh, okay. Well,
6 federated states, including Queensland.
interesting.
It is a state.
Wow. Who knew? Not me.
Not us.
That's fun.
Our one viewer in Australia
God,
knew.
you turned into a pirate there for a second.
What? Did I?
Arr.
R. You and I.
You like growled it out.
Our one viewer in Australia knew.
They did. They did
Yeah.
know that.
Shout out to you. If
Yeah.
you're listening to this in Australia, shout out to you specifically.
Yeah. We
I
shout
hope
out
it
our
is going
Australian
well.
listener so much.
Listen. Yeah, we love them.
Yeah, we do. We should go there.
Okay. Do you have any other fun facts?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think we did a pretty good job. A bang up job explaining it.
I think so too.
Explain the shit out of this movie.
Yeah. If you were confused before, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
We told you.
We wrote it down. We said it out loud. Now you know.
Well, let's rate it.
Okay.
I go first. How scary did you think it was?
I gave it a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't even remember being scared the first time I watched this. More intrigued about what was going on, you know?
Yeah.
But not really that scary.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I also gave it a 1. I also, the first time I watched this 4 days ago, was not scared.
Cool.
Mhm.
How sexy did you think it was?
I gave it a 2.
Mm-hmm.
It had some vibes.
Mm-hmm.
It did, you know. It also had some, like, contrary vibes.
Yeah.
So only a 2. Nothing higher.
Yeah. God forbid.
Seriously. You?
I give it a 1.5.
Okay.
Mainly for like ocean,
Yeah.
stranded vibes. I agree. I was gonna give it more for like Melissa George, which she's great. She's beautiful, but like, you know, her character kind of sucks, so it kind of vetoes that. So, yeah.
It's like the Titanic of it all, you know?
I don't.
You've never seen
You-
Titanic?
No, I've never seen Titanic. Katie,
Well,
come on.
My husband hadn't until like 6 months ago.
Okay, yeah, but have you ever asked me if I've seen a movie and I've said no? No, that's never happened in the history of life. I've only ever asked you, and you haven't seen movies that you need to see.
Yeah. When was the
Every
last time you
movie a
watched Dune?
person. Okay, first of all, I've seen every movie that a person needs to see.
Everybody needs to see Dune. Everybody needs to see Dune. They need to see it in IMAX.
Okay, I'm gonna see Dune, I swear. I'm gonna watch it when I have 8 hours to kill. Jesus.
6.5.
I'm
You don't have to watch the
so
second
sorry.
one. You'll
Some
want
people
to.
have reactions to that. I shouldn't do that, but it's long. And I know I have to watch the first one, which I know the first one's just like setting up the second one, which is really annoying to me, and I don't want
It's
to
still
watch
good.
3
It's
hours
still
of
good and pretty.
setup.
It's still good and pretty. It's pretty. It's pretty. It's fun to watch. It's the
Whatever.
ambience.
Anyways, what
it's
about
the vibe.
Titanic?
Zendaya's in it.
For like 2 seconds.
She's in the second one even more.
4 seconds.
She's in the book even more. It was really sad,
Okay.
but whatever.
Why is this movie like Titanic?
It's on a boat and people die, and that's kind of fun, you know.
Great.
You know,
Yeah.
Titanic was a steamy movie when it came out.
Yeah, I would say Titanic's more sexy than this movie.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like the Titanic vibes of this movie are what made it sexy.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Okay. Yeah.
That was
Have I
all.
seen Titanic?
Well, I'm just making sure. You better have 3 hours right now if you hadn't. We are fixing that. I could use a good cry.
Oh my god. I cannot cry any more than I have this week.
Seriously. How fucked up did you think it was?
I give it a 1.5. I
Oh.
don't think it's really that fucked up, except for the child abuse. That's like the fucked up part of it. Yeah.
I gave it a 2.
Because of
For-
that.
Yeah, and the nail in the head, or like the hook.
The hook.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was a little gross.
Yeah, there was also a slur or two.
Yeah,
Just it's a product of its time.
it is.
Yeah.
I also think like they don't hype it up.
Yeah,
like
they're
it's
not,
clear
like,
that she's a shitty person, the person who says it. So I do think it's being condemned that they say it. It's not like they're promoting the usage of it. So
Yeah.
all right, overall, what did you think of Triangle?
It was a good movie. I think a fun kind of gateway horror. There wasn't too much gore. It wasn't really scary. It was more of like an ominous thriller with a little blood. The acting was on both ends of the spectrum, but mostly great. The set design was incredible. You could really feel the attention to detail there. I think there were some plot holes. You definitely can't think about it too much, which we've said about a couple movies recently. I was a little bit lost in the shuffle sometimes, but still a great concept. I love the concept. And like I said, I think it deserves a remake, a real good one, big budget, 100 million, make a real boat, use a real ocean liner, buy one or something. I don't know. Anyway, all said, I gave it a 3.5.
That is correct.
You gave it a 3.5 too?
I did, yeah.
Hell yeah,
Also,
brother.
every time I say that, I think of Billy Madison. Have you seen Billy Madison?
Not in a long time.
Okay, I was like, don't say no, Jesus.
Of course, I've seen all the Adam Sandler movies. You remember when I talked about Adam Sandler for like 20 minutes a couple episodes ago?
Yeah, I had to cut some out. It was long. It was so long. If you heard the Adam Sandler rant in last episode, it was twice as long.
Oh my god. Will we release it on our Patreon?
Yeah.
Full Adam Sandler rant coming to our Patreon.
Full Adam Sandler rant coming soon. No, but there's like a scene where he's trying to study, but he can't do it with the girl he's interested in because every time he gets something correct, she like takes off clothes, right? And so he's like, I can't do this, like it's not working well. And so it cuts to him doing it with Chris Farley's character. And there's just a scene where he just goes, that is correct, and starts taking his shirt off.
Oh my god.
And every time I say it, I think of that scene. That is correct. correct. Anyways, I don't want to ruin your hopes and dreams. I don't think that a movie that did this poorly in the box office will ever get a remake, but I understand your sentiments for it. But yeah, I don't know. I give it a 3.5 as well. I think that this movie's fun. It's I am kind of a little bit of a slut for a time loop, if I'm being honest. I just think that concept is really cool. And it just gets me going. But yeah, I think this is a fun movie. And it's usually one of the ones where I think it's a little bit underrated. So I'll recommend it to people if they haven't seen it, because I'm like, yeah, go for it. Again, you kind of don't have to, you can't think about it too hard. Otherwise, it does. But I do think switching your mindset from time loop to purgatory kind of does fix a lot of those things. It makes a lot more sense. And then it also kind of gives you a reason to stop questioning it so much. So that does fix a lot of it for me. But yeah, it's a fun romp.
Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah.
We've remade worse movies.
Like what?
Dune, for one.
Yeah, but that wasn't a box office. It did well, the original. Did it not?
It was terrible. It was really bad.
Was it? I'm gonna watch. If I watch the original, will you leave me alone?
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
Because you have to watch the Hans Zimmer version.
I have to?
Yeah, well, if you're gonna watch it, that's what I care about.
But I could watch the the Kyle MacLachlan version. The Patrick Stewart version.
No.
It didn't make back what it spent, but it didn't do as bad as this one.
Anyway.
Whatever, I'll watch it one day.
I know.
Thank you. Also, that's different because that has source material to adapt. Like, they were adapting the book, not necessarily the original movie. You know what I mean? This would be a big gamble of remaking
I'm
a
just saying.
2009 UK only release.
Yeah, but the concept has legs.
Yeah, but I also think they've done a lot of. I mean, you could say Blumhouse did it with Happy Death. No, they couldn't. But that's not the same concept. But I'm just saying, horror time loops has been done a lot.
Remember when I gave that a 5? I was fucking crazy. What was I thinking?
You still hadn't seen that many movies, okay? We're gonna give you a break.
I need to go back and re-rate them all.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll be very mean to a lot of things I was not mean to.
I remember trying to be supportive, and you were yelling at me a lot that episode. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't.
You said people love this movie. You're gonna tell me I'm wrong, and I said I didn't tell you people didn't love the movie. A 5's crazy. That's what I said.
5's crazy. That movie's not a fucking 5.
I don't even think I said that at the time. I said I didn't give it a 5.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. It's fun romp.
4 at most.
Yeah, I think I gave it like a 3.5. I think a 3.5.
Yeah.
It's not a 5 though.
No way.
No, sorry.
I had recency bias. I need to wait. A couple days. Let it really simmer.
Well, also again, like that was what, early. 20 episodes in? That was not that. Yeah, that was. I could probably look it up actually.
I think it was like my birthday episode, right? Our birthday episode.
Happy Death Day was our 23rd episode.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
you'd seen 22 other horror movies to compare it to. Granted, you didn't give other movies 5s that are definitely better than that movie, so we'll have to talk about that. Yeah. But
well, I think I would increase my rating on some stuff too.
That's fair. Yeah.
You know what I haven't been able to stop thinking about?
What?
Smile 2. I have not stopped thinking about Smile 2.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's because
I've been listening to the soundtrack. But
yeah.
It was fun. It was fun. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, would you survive Triangle?
No. No. She's already dead.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm sorry. I don't. Do you?
I mean, if I'm putting myself in the situation of the movie, then I guess no, because I'm being punished in a Greek mythology type of way. But also, would I be punished in a Greek mythology type of way? I don't have a kid, and I wouldn't abuse one if I did, so I don't think I would get punished. Well, probably, but not for that. I don't
Yeah.
know. But I feel like that's a cop out to say, well, I'm not going to be in the situation at all.
I think the situation that you're in is you're dead and you're in purgatory.
Great, then no, I do not. Obviously, I do not survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I figure out the ferryman thing at some point.
Oh, I give up much quicker.
Yeah.
And especially if we're saying I'm in this situation as me, the person I am right now, because I wouldn't be there for like killing my child, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or abusing my child. So I wouldn't have that to keep me going. Because I do kind of understand the idea of like, she is trying to like save her kid, right?
Yeah.
That's her mentality, and I wouldn't have that. I would be like, oh, I'm stuck in this time loop, and I love giving up. I'm so good at it. So I would immediately just get in the cab and be like,
Let's go.
take me away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
We both
Okay,
die.
we do both die together.
Yay.
Do you think we're holding hands?
I hope so.
If I know us. All right. Well, you've already seen next week's movie. So we're not going to do a
Heretic.
prediction. Yeah, next week's movie is going to be Heretic, which is in theaters now. And do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience instead of predicting it?
Yeah.
Okay. Should I like not listen to you?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming most people haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, that's true.
So I won't give away anything spoilery, but
Cool.
I did win tickets through, I'm a AAA 24 member, and I won tickets to an advanced screening I saw it a couple weeks ago now. And they played it in smell-o-vision. And they gave us a little something on the way out.
Oh.
Yeah. It was quite the experience. I'll tell you that.
Oh my God. Are you going to tell us next week what they gave you?
Yes, I will tell you everything. I'll give you all the details because they only did it the one day, and it was
excited.
only the advanced screening day that they did it.
Yeah.
Like I
I'm
went into the theater. Like my name was on the chair. It felt very official. It was so cool.
Ooh. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to hear what that was like. And I'm excited to talk about Heretic.
Yeah, me too.
In theaters now. Go see it. So that you
Go
can listen to our
see
episode
it.
next week.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, if you listen this far, please like and subscribe. If you're our one Australian viewer, please let us know in the comments. And that's it. That's all I have.
See you next Tuesday.
We will see you next Tuesday.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.